as the Giants get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Allen going to throw. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Here's the first carry from Matt Breida. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now Allen. Check down to Breida. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. On first down, Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Jones. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Throwing, Jones. He'll buy some time right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. Let's see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 2nd and 10. On play action, Allen. Out to the left, he's got his tight end, Knox. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants' offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
5-3, their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Catch made by Slayton. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida, and he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And it's 3rd down.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. To the air, Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Green. And he is going to have a Bills first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
To throw again on 2nd down, Allen. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up the first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Now a give to Breida. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Allen now looks to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. They'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This is caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush, and he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Ed Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Off-play action. Jones. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big gain there for the Bills.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Here's Breida. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Find Davis on the left side, complete. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Stonewall on 2nd down. Now let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try to run with Breida. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They run for it with Breida. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Slayton. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead now stands at 13. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This take it in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Allen. That'll be complete to Breida. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. Jones, a final shot before break. That ball caught by Slayton. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And that'll carry over. The back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing a point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Allen now on first down. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Yeah, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Third down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Letting one go deep for the end zone.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills draw a bit closer.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead will shrink to 6.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Mike 42.
Back to throw. Jones. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Off play action. Jones.
The throw for Tony is intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big gain there for the Bills. Well, Matt Breida actually had the fastest play of 2019, hitting 22.3 miles an hour on an 83-yard touchdown run, and he was moving here too. On first down, here's Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They run again with Breida. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 45 yards on the ground for him so far. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
On third down, a run from Breida. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. That's complete to Slayton.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Jones now on 1st and 10. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. That'll be caught. It's Toney. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Buying time to his left.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
In his own end zone, it's Allen. That's caught by Jackson. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
That catch good for only a couple.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
On play action, Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 2. Allen off the play fake. Uncorks one for Davis. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral it down near the 11-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the 4th. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making a play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He'll try to get through, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3.
Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Back around his goal line. Here's Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Cummings. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds his man, complete. That's Cummings.
And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Yeah, I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he'll get this one up to the 26. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Allen to throw. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Yeah, difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here's Jones.
He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. Meanwhile, Jones' throw caught by Tony.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. I'm just impressed he held on to that football. You're coming across the middle on the crossing route like that, absorb that contact. Woo.
All we talk about in today's football is trying to get the football away from the offensive player. Sometimes you just can't do that, and you have to finish a play off with a good old-fashioned tackle, as we just saw.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Now Jones.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll run it again with Barkley. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Jones.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they take him a lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish him off.
Well, scored and puts him in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Jones throwing for it.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time.
Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will bring it back. It's a pick and a Giants touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach tell us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe than returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Here's Allen. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it.